Cool, right, we're downstairs in the Islington Academy with Rody from Syria. How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. And yourself?
Great, actually. Yeah.
Good to hear.
Have you, obviously it's quite a bit of an early curve for you tonight, so you must have had quite an early sound check. Did you manage to have a little walk around today?
Yeah, I did. I went to the H&M because I needed some new jeans, and I hate H&M, but I walked around, bought some underwear, bought some socks. I hate trying jeans on because I don't like getting out of my clothes in public places.
They got changing rooms though.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, I went in the changing room, but we've been playing shows constantly, and I've been wearing these same jeans for a while. When I took them down, the stink that came out of them was just immense and horrible, and I'm pretty sure it was smelled a couple of change rooms over. So it was embarrassing for me.
Is that why you're embarrassed about changing in public places, just because you forget and it takes a while?
We don't get to shower every day, so it's like, but we play and we sweat like crazy every day, so it's like we stink. Our genitals stink. Speaking of genitals stink, here's Truk.
Yeah, stinky genitals Truk over here.
So obviously you're quite chunky into the tour now.
Yeah.
I've been over in Europe for a while. Have you enjoyed it? What would be a particular highlight thus far?
I think the most enjoyable date so far was probably quiet down over there. It was probably Ireland. We had a day off in Dublin. We don't get to see Ireland very much. We've only been there once before. Scoot through. We've only been there once before, so to go back again was quite neat. And we had a day off in Dublin, so we went to the Jameson Brewery, the Jameson Distillery, and the Guinness Brewery. It was all quite neat. The Guinness Brewery kind of sucks though, because we went on the distillery tour,
right?
And it was like, okay, I don't want to fucking have to sit through this again, learn how this product is made. I know how it's made, so it's like we said, let's just go to the Guinness Brewery and have a pint of Guinness. You can't do it.
So they just won't let you buy a beer in there?
Yeah, they're like, you have to go on this fucking 14-pound tour, and then they give you a Guinness at the end, but it's like the most expensive Guinness I ever sat for.
So, I mean, essentially what you're saying is Guinness can't organise a piss up in a brewery.
That's exactly right.
But otherwise, Ireland was good then. Have you not ever been there as a tourist or anything?
No. We've only been there once as a band before, and we didn't have a whole lot of time to explore, so it was kind of neat to be there.
Cool. Obviously, you've been over to the UK a few times, even though you skipped Ireland a few times. What was the last time you were in London? I'm trying to think which venue it would have been.
Underworld.
That would be the one.
That's what it's called. Sorry.
Have you managed to? You haven't played in here before, have you?
No,
I don't think
never.
so. What? Obviously, you've had a sound check now. How do you compare the two? Obviously, it's quite a bit bigger.
Yeah. I have a feeling that we're not going to feel nearly as connected with the fans tonight. At the Underworld, it's like you're pretty freaking close up. But I like that it's like, it's a bigger room, so there's more people and you get to play for a larger audience. But I like that personal connection of being able to reach out and touch people. Maybe that's just the pervert in me, but
possibly. So do you like quite a balance of the two as well? It's cool playing to loads of people, but also good to kind of sweat with those people. Also.
If I had to do one for the rest of my life, it would be playing little pubs or little bars that are just packed with people.
I'm not sure that's the most sustainable way to.
No, it certainly isn't.
Possibly though. It's not really catch-22, but just where you got to do things really. But obviously, back here again in August for Hevy Festival, which I understand you were filled in about an hour ago.
Well, I was filled in about it yesterday,
right?
By an interview I was doing. This guy was like, "You're doing Hevy Festival?" I was like, "Okay." I still don't really know too much about it, to be honest with you.
Do you find that kind of happens? It's just kind of like you'll kind of get an email or a call at some point. Remember that you're doing this.
No one ever emails me anything. I just get spam. I wake up in the morning. They're like, "Hey, meet me at the airport. We're going to Germany," and I'm like, "Okay, let's go." I don't know anything, which is a really bad reason for me to do interviews because I don't know very much about what goes on.
Just the music.
Yeah. Barely even that.
Just get someone to point you in the right direction. You kind of see what happens. It's fine. But obviously, been touring the Scurrilous for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
I think over a year probably.
Yeah,
I think it must be over a year.
I think it's just a year this month, maybe last month. I don't know.
are you finding the new tracks are going down really well? With if you recognise a few faces and see them kind of go off the same.
There are specific tracks that people certainly like more than others, but yeah, it's nice to see people finally start really getting into the newer stuff, even though, as previously mentioned, it is not that new.
Do you find that do you guys mix up your set quite a lot, or is it kind of picking?
Sometimes I feel like we do. Sometimes I feel like we don't. This specific set we're playing tonight, I kind of feel like it's a little tired. And maybe it's because we put a lot of old stuff in there because people really like the old stuff, but we don't. No. It's just like, we play Blindfolds Aside. We've been playing that for almost 10 years now. I hate that song.
So do you find it is really like, as soon as you got an album out, you want to kind of be like, want to play everything off there every single night sort of thing?
Absolutely. There's a lot of songs on Scurrilous we've never played live. And I don't know that, we will eventually, but it's just like I would love to be at the point where it's like, as soon as we put out a new record, we never play any of the old shit ever again.
Do you ever get tempted to kind of just go, right, we're going to do these shows where we play all of the songs off the old records and we're never playing them ever again?
That would be a good idea. At the end of every tour cycle, we usually do a run through Canada where we play the newest record from start to finish, the entire tour. But I don't know that we'll be doing that with this one.
Any particular reasons?
I don't know. For some reason, we just don't play Canada anymore. It's stupid. It's our home country. We love it. We're proud Canadians. But it's a hard country to tour because there's a lot of land to cover, but there's not a whole lot of people. Saskatoon is just this city that pops up out of the middle of nowhere. You're driving for days, and you're just like, they say you can watch your dog run away for days because it's just flat and there's nothing. And then all of a sudden there's this little city. You gotta drive for like fucking 4 days to get to it. So.
Do you find that's kind of one of the biggest differences between like touring kind of Canada and going out and doing that, and then kind of coming here where it's like you get bands here who will kind of be like, oh, it's quite a long drive, and then anyone who ever comes over will be like, no,
it's
nothing, really not.
Like people come up, they're like, oh, I drove 5 hours to be at the show, and I was like, congratulations. It's not happening.
Have that for breakfast.
Yeah.
So would you think that, like you say, would you really want to do more, like, making sure you did kind of do that Canadian stuff more, do you think? Really?
Yeah, I think it's important to do the Canadian stuff. It's just like, it's our home, it's where we're from, and I feel bad that we've neglected it to this point. Like, we haven't toured Canada on Scurrilous, and that's shitty. That's a shitty thing for a band to do, because I think a lot of bands, they think, oh, we've outgrown our homeland. It's like, we haven't at all.
It's pretty big.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. I think maybe sometimes the representation that we have don't really think about Canada very much because, it's not a very big market. So it gets overlooked because it's not the United States and it's not Germany, but it's something that's very important to us.
So have you kind of, obviously you're saying like it's about a year kind of since the record came out, have you guys just been really hammering it too much on the live shows to get back and, practice maybe some new tracks or anything like that?
Yeah, we've been writing some preliminary stuff for a new record. We're hoping to have a new record out for the first quarter of 2013. But I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Sometimes it takes us a very long time to write. But we've got a good start at it now, and that stuff will probably all be scrapped and we'll start over again, but we'll see. It's really hard to say because it's so tentative. It's all just sorry, I don't know what I meant by that.
Do you guys like kind of are you more, we love doing the live performance but kind of doing the recording to augment that, or just kind of like love being in the studio and kind of getting the new tracks down?
I don't know. I think it's a mixture of both. We really like doing both. Being in the studio is fun because it's like the creative aspect of it. You really get to explore new sounds and new ways of doing things. But being on stage is, it's a completely different aspect. Obviously, it's performance and it's fun and it's wild and it's it's all on the spot. So it's a really interesting. I don't know. it's a really interesting world that we've put ourselves into. And it's fun. Both aspects of it. It's very fun.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. Well, what book are you reading?
It's Star Trek.
You're clutching onto it with.
Sorry. It's the Losing the Peace. It's actually quite horrible. I like Star Trek a lot, but this is not. I do not consider this part of Trek.
1 out of 5 on Amazon.
It's all about like Picard and Beverly Crusher are married and they have a baby and they're like kissing and stuff. It's like, what the fuck? I don't understand. A bunch of people are dead. I think it's part of a series and I just
got the one right in.
It's like right in the middle, I think.
Sounds like really bad fan fiction.
Yeah, it pretty much is. It's William Lesnar. I don't know. The writing is just absolute trash. You know, for a series that had just phenomenal writing all throughout the show, this is garbage.
I think I'll leave it at that. That's fine.
Okay.